a land where oceans, mountains, and ancient stone blend into one unmistakable identity. Where the light feels different, softer along the coasts, golden across the fields, sharp and crystalline in the high mountains. A country shaped by centuries of artistry, by empires and monarchs, by villages untouched by time, and cities that pulse with modern life. From the Atlantic cliffs of the west to the lavender winds of the south. From medieval fortresses rising above rivers to islands sculpted by fire and sea. France is not one landscape, but many. Not one story, but countless. This journey will guide you across the regions, the coastlines, the mountain worlds, and the timeless towns that define this extraordinary nation. A visual exploration of the places that made France what it is and continue to inspire millions. Welcome to a cinematic voyage through one of the world's most remarkable countries. Welcome to the wonders of France. Stretching from the North Sea to the Mediterranean and from the Atlantic to the Alps, France is a country defined by contrasts. It is Europe's most visited nation, not because of a single landmark or one famous city, but because of its remarkable variety. Here, coastlines shift from rugged cliffs in the west to soft turquoise bays in the south. Mountains rise in three grand chains: the Alps, the Pyrenees, and the Massif Central, each shaping its own world of lakes, valleys, and remote villages. Rivers like the Loire, Rhône, and Seine carve long, fertile corridors through the land, hosting castles, vineyards, and ancient towns whose foundations go back to Roman times. France's cultural identity is just as diverse. Gothic cathedrals tower above medieval streets. Renaissance chateaux line the countryside. Roman amphitheaters still echo in places like Arles and Lyon. And in every region, traditions survive. From Basque festivals and Breton music to Provençal markets and Alsatian timber-framed villages. It is a country where cuisine is considered an art form, where sunlight is a muse, and where history flows into daily life with effortless grace. To understand France is to travel through its landscapes, explore its cities, taste its regional flavors, and listen to the stories written into its stones. In each chapter of this journey, we discover one piece of this mosaic, one of the places that makes France what it is today. Paris, a city spoken of in paintings, in poetry, in music. A place that has inspired emperors, artists, philosophers, and travelers for centuries. Rising from the banks of the Seine, Paris is a mosaic of eras layered on top of one another. Roman foundations, medieval islands, royal avenues, Belle Époque ironwork, and the quiet charm of old neighborhoods preserved like pages from history. At its heart stands the Ile de la Cité, the cradle of Parisian civilization. Here, Notre Dame watches over the river, a cathedral whose stones have witnessed 1,000 years of coronations, revolutions, and rebirths. Across the water, the Seine flows like a ribbon of silver, crossed by bridges that glow at dusk, turning the city into a constellation of reflections. The Louvre stretches along the river, a vast palace-turned-museum holding works from every corner of human creativity. From the Mona Lisa's enigmatic smile to ancient Egyptian statues carved before the pyramids were built. Its courtyards echo with footsteps of visitors who come from every continent to see what the world has treasured. Further west rises the Eiffel Tower, once criticized, now beloved. A lattice of iron and engineering that became a universal symbol of romance and possibility. Paris is not simply a city to visit. It is a city to feel. In its light, in its architecture, in its timeless atmosphere that lingers long after you leave. This is Paris, the city of light, a place where history and imagination meet beneath the glow of every street lamp. Where the Rhône and Saône rivers meet, forming a glittering peninsula of bridges, hills, and winding streets, lies Lyon, a city often overshadowed by Paris, yet considered by many to be the true cultural and gastronomic heart of France. Lyon's story stretches back more than 2,000 years. Founded as the Roman city of Lugdunum, it once served as the capital of Gaul, a vital stronghold where ancient emperors ruled the western provinces of their empire. Traces of this past remain at Fourvière Hill, where a Roman theater still opens its stone embrace to the sky, echoing performances just as it did 2 millennia ago. From this hilltop viewpoint, Lyon unfolds like a tapestry. Often called the gastronomic capital of France, the city is home to traditional bouchons, small taverns where recipes are passed down like family heirlooms. Here, meals are unpretentious, but crafted with devotion, rich sauces, slow-cooked dishes, and specialties that merge rustic tradition with the elegance of French culinary heritage. Lyon is also the birthplace of legendary chefs such as Paul Bocuse, whose influence forever transformed French cuisine. The rivers shape the city's rhythm. Quiet mornings along the Saône, vibrant markets lining its banks, and shimmering reflections of lights dancing on the Rhône at night. Cyclists glide along riverside promenades, and bridges connect neighborhoods filled with craft shops, students, artists, and café terraces that buzz with life. Modernity also finds its place in Lyon. The district of Confluence, once industrial, has been reborn with bold contemporary architecture, offering a striking contrast to the city's ancient core. Lyon is a crossroads of eras, cultures, flavors, and ideas. A city where Roman stones, Renaissance passages, and modern creativity live side by side, creating a harmony that feels uniquely French yet distinctly its own. This is Lyon, warm, historic, refined, and endlessly rich, a wonder of France hidden in plain sight. In the southwest of France, where the Garonne River curves through a landscape of vineyards that stretch toward the horizon, lies Bordeaux, a city renowned not only for its wine, but for its elegance history, and extraordinary sense of harmony. Bordeaux's historic center, known as the Port of the Moon, is one of the largest urban UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the world. Its graceful 8th century architecture forms sweeping boulevards, grand squares, and stone facades so uniform that the city feels like a single, carefully composed masterpiece. At the heart of this ensemble lies the Place de la Bourse, reflected in the famous water mirror, a vast, shallow pool that turns the plaza into an ever-changing display of mist and reflections. Here the city appears twice, once in stone, once in shimmering silver. The Garonne divides Bordeaux into two worlds. On one side, lively riverside quays invite walkers, cyclists, and markets. On the other, the historic old town opens like a tapestry of narrow streets, bustling cafes, and elegant townhouses. As night falls, warm lights glow beneath sculpted balconies, giving the city an almost theatrical atmosphere. Just beyond the urban center lies the true soul of Bordeaux, its vineyards. This region is home to some of the most celebrated wine estates on earth. Legendary chateaux whose names are whispered with reverence by collectors and connoisseurs alike. Saint-Émilion, Médoc, Pessac-Léognan, Sauternes. Each appellation has its own character, shaped by soil, climate, and tradition. The cuisine of the region complements its wines perfectly. Buttery pastries, fresh oysters from nearby Arcachon Bay, and rich, slow-cooked dishes served in traditional bistros and contemporary restaurants alike. Bordeaux is refinement without pretense. A city where heritage and innovation live side by side, and where the pleasures of life are celebrated in every season. It is a place shaped by rivers, vineyards, and a culture that has elevated winemaking into an art form. This is Bordeaux, graceful, historic, and steeped in a tradition that continues to captivate the world. Along the northern shores of France, where the land meets the English Channel in dramatic cliffs and long windswept beaches, lies Normandy, a region shaped by nature, history, and a quiet, enduring beauty. Normandy's towns are treasures in themselves. Rouen, with its towering Gothic cathedral painted again and again by Monet, is a city where medieval streets wind between wooden facades and elegant squares. Not far away, the port of Honfleur dazzles with colorful houses reflected in its tranquil harbor, a postcard of France at its most picturesque. And then there is the region's light, soft, shifting, and endlessly expressive. It changes the mood of cliffs, fields, and water throughout the day, making even familiar scenes feel new. Normandy is a place where natural beauty and human history coexist with remarkable depth. It is a land of reflection and resilience, of tranquil landscapes shaped by events that still resonate far beyond its shores. This is Normandy, solemn, scenic, and profoundly moving. Rising from the tidal flats of Normandy like a vision between earth and sky. Mont Saint-Michel is one of the most extraordinary silhouettes in the world. A rocky island crowned by a medieval abbey that seems almost too otherworldly to be real. For more than 1,000 years, pilgrims, monks, travelers, and dreamers have crossed these shifting sands to reach the mount. At high tide, the sea surrounds it completely, transforming the island into a floating fortress. At low tide, the ocean retreats for kilometers, revealing vast plains of sand that shimmer beneath the sun. This daily rhythm, land becoming sea, sea becoming land, has made Mont Saint-Michel a place where nature and architecture dance in perfect harmony. The village at the base of the island rises in a spiral of stone walls, steep stairways, and ancient houses pressed tightly against the rock. Narrow passages wind upward through gateways and fortified ramparts once designed to withstand sieges. As you climb higher, the noise of the lower alleys fades, replaced by open terraces where winds sweep across the bay and gulls circle overhead. Mont Saint-Michel is more than a landmark. It is a symbol of endurance, faith, and the ingenuity of generations who believed that beauty and devotion could be carved into rock itself. Its isolated setting, its ever-changing surroundings, and its perfect vertical ascent make it one of the most iconic places, not only in France, but in the entire world. This is Mont Saint-Michel, mystical, majestic, and unforgettable. Where France reaches toward the Atlantic in windswept peninsulas and rocky capes, you find Brittany, a region carved by storms, softened by coastal villages, and illuminated by some of the most iconic lighthouses in Europe. It is a land shaped not by gentle tides, but by the raw power of the ocean. Brittany's coastline stretches for thousands of kilometers, twisting through coves, bays, granite cliffs, and islands scattered like stepping stones across the sea. One of Brittany's most dramatic landscapes is the pink granite coast, where stone formations glow in shades of rose and orange, sculpted by centuries of wind and water. The region's traditions, its music, its dances, its Breton language, echo through village squares during festivals and markets. Charming towns like Quimper, Vannes, and Dinan showcase half-timbered houses, stone alleyways, and Gothic spires rising above winding streets. Brittany's cultural identity is tied deeply to the sea. Every harbor reflects a long history of fishing, shipbuilding, and maritime legends. The cuisine embraces this connection. Fresh oysters from Cancale, butter-rich pastries like kouign-amann, and seafood dishes that taste of wind, salt, and open water. There is the rhythm of the Atlantic, restless, powerful, unforgettable. Whether calm or roaring, it gives Brittany its spirit. Dramatic, resilient, and deeply tied to nature. On the eastern slopes of France, where rolling vineyards meet the foothills of the Vosges Mountains, lies Alsace, a region that feels as if it stepped out of a storybook. Half-timbered houses, cobblestone lanes, medieval towers, and colorful facades make its villages some of the most enchanting in all of Europe. Canals weave through its old quarter, reflecting houses painted in soft pastels, decorated with wooden shutters and blooming flowers. Every corner unveils a new detail. Carved beams, small bridges, and squares where centuries-old traditions still color daily life. Nearby, Riviera sits surrounded by vineyards, like a jewel among hills. Its narrow streets lead through medieval gates, lined with houses that lean gently over cobblestones, as they have for hundreds of years. It is a village where aromas from wine cellars drift into the air, blending with the scent of fresh pastries and regional dishes. Smaller towns like Eguisheim, with its circular layout and concentric streets, reveal layers of history built around fortified cores. Each village is a small world. Timbered walls, flowered balconies, quiet chapels, and winding alleys that invite slow exploration. Alsace's capital, Strasbourg, adds another dimension: Gothic majesty, rich cultural fusion, and a modern pulse. But the countryside holds a different kind of magic. Here, time feels slower. Hills rise gently toward the mountains, forests crown the ridges, and castles and ruins stand silently over valleys, recalling a medieval past. The region's cuisine is hearty and comforting. Tart flambé from wood-fired ovens, choucroute piled high, and pastries filled with spices and fruit. Christmas markets, some of the oldest in Europe, transform entire towns into glowing labyrinths of lights, crafts, and winter aromas. Alsace is a region where France meets Central Europe, not as a border, but as a harmony of influences that shaped a culture, a landscape, and a way of life that feels uniquely warm and deeply rooted. This is Alsace, colorful, welcoming, and wrapped in the gentle beauty of vineyards and fairy tale villages. Flowing through the heart of France, the Loire River carves a wide, graceful path between rolling hills, ancient forests, and fertile plains. Along its banks stands one of the most extraordinary collections of castles in the world. A landscape so rich in history and beauty that it is often called the Valley of Kings. The Loire Valley is a place where centuries of royal ambition, artistic vision, and Renaissance culture left their mark in stone. More than 300 chateaux rise across this region, each with its own story: grand palaces surrounded by ornamental gardens, fortified strongholds overlooking river bends, and elegant manors where poets, scientists, and nobles once gathered. This is a land built for beauty, a place where art, history, and nature meet in harmony. A journey through the Loire Valley feels like stepping into a living Renaissance painting, where every turn reveals another chapter of France's illustrious past. This is the Loire Valley, majestic, elegant, and timeless. Along the southeast edge of France, where mountains tumble into turquoise waters and sunlight seems to last forever, stretches the French Riviera, a coastline of elegance, color, and cinematic beauty known around the world as the Côte d'Azur. This region has captivated painters, writers, royalty, and travelers for more than a century. Its unique light, soft yet brilliant, once drew artists like Matisse and Picasso, who tried to capture the shimmering blues and golds of the Mediterranean on canvas. Today, that same light reflects off bays, harbors, palm-lined promenades, and the facades of pastel-colored towns that glow warm at sunset. At the heart of the Riviera lies Nice, a city where the sea meets a sweeping promenade known as the Promenade des Anglais. Here, the shoreline curves in a perfect arc, edged by beaches of smooth stones and sparkling water. The old town, Vieux Nice, is a maze of narrow alleys filled with markets, cafes, and Baroque churches, all painted in warm ochres and reds that radiate under the sun. Further east, the coastline narrows into dramatic cliffs and hidden coves. Èze, perched like an eagle's nest above the sea, offers views that seem almost unreal. Rooftops rising toward the sky, gardens clinging to terraces, and waves breaking far below. Nearby, Monaco adds a unique contrast. A small principality filled with luxury, yachts, and a skyline nestled between mountains and the Mediterranean. To the west lies Cannes, famous for its film festival and glamorous Boulevard de la Croisette. But beyond the red carpets and luxury boutiques, the city hides tranquil corners, old neighborhoods of winding streets, quiet fishing boats, and beaches with water as clear as glass. Further along the coast, Antibes blends medieval charm with maritime heritage. Its old town, fortified by stone ramparts, opens toward marinas where sailboats and super yachts rest side by side. The Picasso Museum, housed in a castle overlooking the sea, celebrates the artist's deep connection to the Riviera. Moving away from the crowds, the Estérel Massif reveals a more rugged character. Volcanic red cliffs plunge into bright blue waters, forming one of the most striking landscapes in southern France. Hiking paths wind through fragrant pine forests, offering vistas where fiery rock meets the calm Mediterranean. Throughout the Riviera, the atmosphere is a blend of sophistication and natural beauty. markets overflow with lavender, herbs, citrus fruits, and fresh seafood. Villages hide among hills dotted with olive groves and vineyards. And whether you're looking at the coast from a cliffside terrace or walking along a quiet beach at dusk, the colors here always seem a little more vivid, a little more dreamlike. This is the French Riviera, radiant, refined, and unforgettable. A coastline where the Mediterranean's most iconic landscapes meet the timeless charm of southern France. In the warm, sunlit landscapes of southern France lies Provence, a region defined by fragrance, color, and the gentle rhythm of rural life. Here, the land unfolds in soft, rolling hills, olive groves, vineyards, and vast fields of lavender that bloom in waves of purple beneath brilliant summer skies. When the lavender is in full bloom, the air carries its scent for miles. Fields stretch to the horizon like painted carpets, alive with the sound of bees and the glow of sunlight that turns every shade of violet into something luminous. It is one of the most iconic sights in France, a landscape that has inspired poets, painters, and travelers for centuries. Provence is also a land of hilltop villages, each perched on rocky outcrops with breathtaking views over valleys and plains. Gordes, with its stone houses cascading down a cliffside, seems carved directly from the earth. Narrow alleys wind beneath arches and between ancient walls, opening onto terraces that overlook olive trees and the distant mountains of the Luberon. Provence is deeply connected to its artistic heritage. Painters like Cézanne and Van Gogh found inspiration here, capturing the region's light, a light that shifts throughout the day, soft at dawn, golden and warm in the afternoon, and glowing with rose tones at sunset. The landscapes they painted still exist, almost unchanged, waiting quietly beyond village walls and country roads. In the countryside, lavender farms alternate with wineries producing rosé, red, and white wines shaped by Mediterranean sun and stony soil. Olive mills still press oil using traditional methods, and small chapels rise alone atop hills, watching over valleys that have been cultivated for centuries. Provence is a region that embraces calm, where time seems slower, the air seems clearer, and every corner offers a sense of harmony between people and the land. This is Provence, serene, colorful, and touched by a light that feels uniquely its own. Set in the heart of the Mediterranean, between France and Italy, lies Corsica, an island of breathtaking contrasts. where rugged mountains rise straight from the sea and ancient villages cling to cliffs as if carved by time itself. Nicknamed Île de Beauté, the Island of Beauty, Corsica has landscapes so varied and dramatic that it feels like a miniature continent floating in turquoise waters. Its coastline stretches for nearly 1,000 kilometers, winding through hidden coves, golden beaches, and towering granite headlands shaped by wind and waves. The water here glows in shades of blue that shift with the light, from deep sapphire to brilliant turquoise, creating some of the most stunning seascapes in the Mediterranean. Villages like Corte, once the capital of an independent Corsican nation, sit high in the valleys, surrounded by dramatic ridges that rise like walls around them. Some of Corsica's most unforgettable landscapes lie within the Calanques de Piana, a UNESCO-listed area of deep red cliffs carved into fantastical shapes. Corsica is a land of independence and identity, shaped by nature's extremes and centuries of history. Every road reveals a new landscape. Every village, a different story. It is a place where mountains touch the sky, where the sea sparkles endlessly, and where the spirit of the island feels both ancient and fiercely alive. High in the French Alps, where jagged peaks pierce the sky and glaciers carve deep valleys of ice, lies Chamonix Mont-Blanc, a place where the power of nature feels overwhelming, humbling, and impossibly beautiful. This is the birthplace of alpine mountaineering, the meeting point of adventurers from around the world, and the gateway to Mont Blanc, the highest mountain in Western Europe. The valley of Chamonix stretches beneath towering summits, each with its own personality. The sharp spires of the Aiguille, the massive dome of Mont Blanc, and ridges dusted with snow even in the warmth of summer. Clouds swirl around the peaks, sunlight cuts across ice fields, and the air is crisp and thin, carrying a silence broken only by wind, waterfalls, and the distant cracking of glaciers shifting in the sun. Chamonix Mont Blanc is more than a mountain destination. It is a world shaped by extremes, where nature's grandest forces come together in breathtaking harmony. It is a place that reminds visitors how small we are and how magnificent the earth can be. This is Chamonix Mont Blanc, the roof of Europe and one of France's most awe-inspiring wonders. carved over millions of years by the turquoise waters of the Verdon River. Verdon Gorge is one of Europe's most spectacular natural wonders. A dramatic canyon of sheer limestone cliffs, emerald lakes, and breathtaking panoramas that feel almost unreal in their scale and color. Sunlight moves across the stone walls, turning them gold in the morning, white at midday, and deep orange as evening approaches. At the bottom, the Verdon River flows with a color so vivid it seems painted. A brilliant turquoise created by glacial minerals suspended in the water. This luminous hue stands in striking contrast to the pale limestone cliffs towering overhead, creating one of the most iconic views in southern France. The gorge offers countless viewpoints, each more impressive than the last. In the calmer waters of Lac de Sainte-Croix, the river widens into a serene turquoise lake surrounded by forests and rocky headlands. Verdon Gorge is a meeting of water, rock, and wind, a place where nature's raw power and delicate beauty converge in breathtaking harmony. It is one of France's greatest landscapes, dramatic yet peaceful, wild yet welcoming. Cradled between turquoise waters and towering alpine peaks, Annecy is one of France's most enchanting small towns. A place where mountain purity meets old-world charm in a setting so picturesque it feels almost unreal. Often called the Venice of the Alps, Annecy is a dream of clear canals, colorful houses, flower-lined bridges, and narrow cobblestone streets that wind gently toward one of Europe's cleanest and most beautiful lakes. A restored castle overlooking the rooftops and offering panoramic views of the lake and surrounding mountains. Annecy's atmosphere blends alpine freshness with French elegance. Markets overflow with local cheeses like reblochon, Savoyard pastries, mountain herbs, and fresh produce from nearby farms. In winter, the town glows with festive lights and views of snowy peaks, while in summer, the lakeside becomes a paradise of swimming, boating, and sunsets that turn the mountains pink and gold. Annecy is a place where nature and architecture exist in perfect harmony, where every corner feels serene, every reflection sparkles, and every path leads toward beauty. This is Annecy, serene, romantic, and forever embraced by the Alps. Rising from the hills of the Luberon like a crown of pale rock, Gordes is one of Provence's most iconic hilltop villages, a place where stone houses, winding alleys, and golden light come together in a scene so harmonious it feels almost sculpted by nature itself. Approaching Gordes from the valley is an experience that stays with you. The village appears slowly, perched on a limestone ridge, its houses cascading down the slope in perfect tiers. All are built from the same pale, honey-colored stone that glows softly at sunrise and burns in warm gold at sunset. A palette that has inspired countless painters and photographers. At the summit stands the Château de Gordes, a fortress-like Renaissance castle whose thick walls and square towers dominate the village skyline. From here, narrow streets weave downward through arches, stairways, and small squares shaded by plane trees. The region is known for its slow rhythm of life. Markets filled with sun-ripened produce, cafes shaded by trees, and winding roads leading to other hilltop villages like Beaulieu and Menerbes. Artists have long been drawn to Gordes. Famous painters, sculptors, and writers found inspiration in its light, a warm, diffused glow that gives every stone a subtle softness. This light changes throughout the day, transforming the village into a living canvas of colors and shadows. In the evenings, Gordes becomes magical. Lights illuminate the castle, the walls take on a golden hue, and the valley below fades into shades of blue and violet. The air cools, cicadas quiet down, and the village feels suspended in time, serene, elegant, and endlessly enchanting. As our long voyage across France comes to a close, we look back on a country that revealed itself not through a single landscape, but through a mosaic of identities. Each region offering its own light, its own voice, and its own rhythm. We traveled from Parisian boulevards to the lavender hills of Provence, from tiny Alsatian villages glowing with half-timbered charm to the raw power of the Atlantic cliffs. We crossed volcanic plateaus, wandered medieval streets, climbed dunes above the ocean, and drifted along canals that reflected colors like paint on water. At every stop, France felt layered, shaped by centuries of history, by cultures meeting and blending, by landscapes carved by wind, ice, fire, and time. What makes France so extraordinary is not simply the beauty of each place, but the contrast between them. The shift from green valleys to red ochre cliffs, from alpine lakes to Riviera cliffs, from bustling cities to peaceful stone villages. This journey was a reminder of how vast and varied this country truly is. Yet despite its diversity, France has a remarkable sense of unity. A shared appreciation for craftsmanship, for heritage, for cuisine, for nature, and for the quiet details that bring beauty into everyday life. As the sun sets behind the mountains, beaches, and rooftops we explored, we close this chapter with gratitude for every moment of wonder along the way.